buzz, everybody. Long time no see. It's been a couple of weeks. I apologize. The schedules have just gotten really busy, but we didn't want this to get away from us. So, welcome back. I got a special guest for you today. Welcome back is the theme. Jake Arnold, it is good to see you.
Hello. Yes, I'm back on campus. I've been away for about 6 years, so I'm excited to be back on campus in my new role as the Director of Campus Safety.
I cannot believe it has been 6 years since you've been here.
Yes, sir. It's been a while. I've been working for the state, so to be able to come back to my alma mater, back to where I was raised, essentially, it's I'm proud of it. So
That is fantastic. I remember when I first got here, it's been almost 10 years ago, and you were res hall director, I believe, at the time.
I was, yep. So I was a student as an undergrad, and I had the ability to come back and get my master's degree, and I worked for the school. I was a graduate assistant hall director, and I transitioned from that role to the director of student activities and leadership.
Yeah.
So I worked here for almost 4 years in a professional role. And
Yep.
then,
I remember that very well.
so yeah,
We were
it's good.
sad to see you go and thrilled to have you come back. Now, you said it before really quickly. What is your official title and tell us what you're going to be doing here?
So I'm the director of campus safety, and currently we have a contracted service on campus who provides security services for us.
Yeah.
Dean Marslek was looking to bring that in-house, so that is where my role comes into play.
Okay.
So I'll be supervising the security officers on campus,
Nice.
doing some of the other Clery reports, some statistical data along with that, and interacting with the students. And we're just trying to revamp the campus safety essentially and make sure that everybody understands what our role is and to provide a good customer experience for the students. I mean, that's the most important thing, and that's why we're all here is for the students. So to be able to do that and let them know that things are going to be going in a positive direction.
So, I mean, you're not the campus police.
No, we are not. Nope, we are definitely not. We're there to have educational moments, learning opportunities,
Yes.
obviously enforce policies and procedures, but at the end of the day, if we're not focusing on the student development, I think that, we're going the wrong direction. So having the ability to interact with students on a positive basis, get them to learn why those
Right.
some decisions aren't the best. So I think that
It's college. These are teachable moments. We're
Correct.
supposed to be helping students learn and grow.
correct. So with my experience from the higher ed standpoint and previously in law enforcement, it's kind of like the perfect role for me, and that's why Dean Marslek thought it would be a
Yep.
good role. And it's all about, it's all about connections as well. I left years ago. I worked for Lisa multiple times, and
Yep.
to keep those relationships healthy and to have that networking ability to have somebody think of you when a position comes up. I think that's a great honor and a pat on the back for those people
Absolutely.
who think that, hey, maybe this person would be a good fit to come back in this role. So I think it's all about a good networking experience too, and the students can learn from that and to leave on good terms and
Yes.
to make sure things are done appropriately and the right way.
Well, I think that's great that you've kind of seen all realms of it. You start out as an undergraduate. When were you here as an undergraduate?
So I was here from 2010 till 2014. And I got involved on campus with athletics, and I was a resident assistant. And that kind of is really what sparked my interest in working in higher ed, because growing up, nobody
Right.
really says, I'm going to work in higher education. Nobody knew that was a
No,
real position.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Exactly. So having that opportunity, I'm so grateful for and for those experiences.
Yeah.
And like I said, I met my wife at DC. My best friends are from DC.
Yep.
My mentors are from DC. Like, there's
You
just
were an athlete, right?
yes,
You were. Was it track? Is that
correct.
If I remember
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Indoor and outdoor track, and that was a great experience. And
I've seen some of those pictures. They are awesome.
yep. So having participated in that and knowing like some of the struggles that student athletes might go through and transitioning to college, I myself is a first generation college student, so
Yep.
no one in my family did it before, but I had support from them, but it may have not, they didn't know that it wasn't the support I needed because they could only provide but having people who've gone through it and understand sometimes things are difficult. There's stresses, financial stresses,
Yep.
social stresses, being away from home. So I think I offer a lot to the students in the campus community, and just to be a positive role model on campus and to help out any way I can.
Absolutely. And I think it's important that you have those Defiance roots. You've lived it here as a student,
Right.
and that you worked here as a professional, kind of coming up through the different roles.
Right. And having the ability to come back, I feel like I I owe it to the institution, and I want to, I want to put in the effort and, and move forward together and be able to say that I was a part of this.
Yeah.
I think everyone on campus currently has the same mindset. Like, they want to be able to, move forward and make the best possible experience for the students and the faculty and staff, and get involved with the community. So,
In college, I'm just thinking back, from, when I first started, just all the changes that have happened. And, really appreciating the positive momentum that I think, the direction that we have going.
Yeah. It's definitely exciting. Lisa and I had actually talked about this years ago, and I did a little research, but at the time I didn't have the experience to be able to, provide insight as far as safety and security kind of things. But being in the world of law enforcement, it provided me with the skills needed, I think, to be able to create the department and to, vet appropriate people to come work on campus and make sure that they understand the goals, that we are not the police. We are, we're campus safety. It encompasses a lot of different things, but respecting everyone's space and, community expectations, and so the standards that we need to live in, because these are people's homes now. Like, the res halls are homes for people.
Yep.
So if someone's disrespecting the space, a conversation needs to happen. They need to know, like, why that can't happen.
Yeah.
So I think it's exciting. I think it's a good time for this to happen, the transition. So it's exciting, though. I think everyone's in student life's pretty excited to have.
Absolutely. Very excited. So how different is this model, right? Campus safety versus campus police department. Is this something that is kind of new, or other campuses doing this across Ohio and across the country?
So in some communities, where there's higher ed institutions, they do have a model that has a campus police department and a campus safety department. They work hand in hand together. We didn't really feel that need. The campus safety side of things, we have really good relationships with the community. So we have those relationships that we can call and get guidance and have assistance, or if there would be a critical incident, response time is pretty quick. So it would mitigate a lot of issues that, bigger cities might, their resources might be allocated elsewhere.
Right. So if you were a BG or Toledo or something like that.
Yeah. And so one of the biggest changes is we had second and third shift coverage only.
Yeah.
So now with my role, I will be the first shift point of contact for any crisis, any emergencies, or any assistance that might be needed to help out the students or faculty or staff or even visitors. So that is a big component, and I'm able to take off a lot of burden from Dean Marsalek with, she had been that person, everyone would call or text her when there would be an incident. So to have that ability to lessen her load, I think that's, everyone's very busy on campus. It's a busy time of year. Lisa and I just talked about that before I came over. The months that begin with A are very stressful for higher ed professionals.
Yep.
So August and April. So those are busy times of year. So
notice the absence of podcasts the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. So exactly, everyone's busy, and I think that everyone's doing a lot of different things, and that's why although my specialty is campus safety and student affairs, I'm willing to help out anywhere I'm needed. Yeah. So, I helped coach for a short time, my last stint here. So that was something that I was excited about. And
I had forgotten about that.
So yeah, I did have the ability to coach, although it was just for about 3 months, but it was still a good experience. And, there were student athletes, I thought that, they saw benefits to that, and having someone there to help them and to cheer them on and, provide guidance. So,
and I know you're going to be present all over campus. You always have been.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that is going to make you really successful in this. Is you're going to be present. You're not horribly threatening.
Yeah.
When you roll up on somebody, you're not the police.
Right.
You are there to help them.
And that's the whole goal, is to make sure that they know why we're here. That we're going to provide a service to them, and it's customer service driven. And how can we move forward and learn from this? How can we help you? What do you all expect? Some of it's, I don't know if anybody's used the escort, the campus escort. Like, we can help if somebody's not comfortable leaving a class late at night.
Oh, we have that?
So we do. So
okay.
I don't think it was utilized in the past, but that is something that.
How do they get a hold of that? Because I got to tell you, I've not heard of a bunch of people accessing that service.
Yeah, so if somebody would need an escort, they would just call the campus security line and say, "Hey, I'm in this class. Would somebody be able to provide me a ride, back to my res hall or to my vehicle?" It's just a safety thing, and
Yep.
we're not terribly big where it's a far walk. But if someone's uncomfortable and they if we can provide that service to them, that's something that's beneficial, I think.
That's
So
great.
and we also we can assist with vehicle lockouts and jump starts, just all the things
Okay.
that might be stressful if a student's on campus and they have to
Yep.
get to work and their battery died if they left their headlights on or something, that we can get over there and help out.
So
And
you're that who do I call when life happens
correct.
kind of moment.
Yeah, correct. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, so I think overall it's going to be a really good experience. I hope the students can see that, the value to that, and it's
Yeah.
value added to the organization. And there's our previous contractor, Continental Security. We've had a very good relationship with them.
Yep.
Just moving forward, we wanted to do something different, and how can we, think of the long-term goals of the institution, what that's
Mhm.
going to look like, and that's why I'm back. So
So one of the things questions I've had to ask is Dave. Dave's, everybody knows Dave. He's an icon around here. Is Dave going anywhere?
nope, I told Dean Marsalek that if I was going to come through, I'd like Dave to remain on as long as he wants to.
Okay.
He's talked about retirement, but I think that if he's willing to stay on, he's value added because he knows a lot of information. He's done the job for 22 or 23 years. And he's a great guy. He's
Right.
got experience.
A lot of students really appreciate him.
Correct. Yeah, and he's a fair guy and a veteran, and those are all things that are beneficial for us. And but yeah, Dave's not going anywhere, so he will still be here on full-time second shift.
Okay.
So
That part won't change. His role might change, right? As you
Yeah.
kind of shift, the focus of what's going on.
yeah, so the job itself won't be too different. We're going to still be doing proactive patrol of the campus.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much on first shift, just because there's a lot more eyes on campus first shift.
Sure.
But second and third shift, those times where vandalism, theft are prevalent everywhere
Yep.
on a campus, opportunity theft. So making sure that security's presence is known and that they're out and about doing proactive rounds. Making sure doors are locked and windows are shut, kind of thing. Just little things like that that may not seem like a big deal, but
Sure.
we are in the middle of
The
it.
goal, though, what I'm hearing you say, that it's not to be, patrolling to look for somebody doing
No.
something bad to get them in trouble.
Right.
It's about keeping people safe.
Correct, and it's the proactive patrolling.
Yes.
If you see some students walking in the middle of the night, it doesn't not mean they're up to no good.
Right.
It's just they could be coming back from studying, they could come back from a party. It doesn't automatically mean that they're up to no good, right? So it's having that awareness, the situational awareness, and just the skills to say, hey, how's it going, and move on. Like
Right.
you don't have to address the issues, but if there are things that are going on, the biggest thing is making sure that those are addressed immediately and say, hey, like you need to not be here, or the building is
Yep.
closed. And I mean, it happens, but it's not the end of the world. But safety is the biggest factor. We're not we're in the middle of a community, so we're a small educational institution in the community, and people wander on campus.
Oh, yeah.
So the safety issue that might be someone walking through campus who's not affiliated.
Yep.
Looking for we've had that in the past where people
Oh,
have come
yeah.
on campus and trespassed, and fortunately it doesn't happen all the time, but having officers who are confident enough to approach somebody and say, hey, can I help you with something? What's your intent here? And if it's not legitimate, ask them to leave, right?
So here's what I'm hearing you say: protect students, not punish them.
Correct.
That's the focus.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Because you've been here a really long time.
Right.
What is your favorite DC memory? I'm going to put you on the spot. Favorite DC memory?
So although the hours were terrible, but RA training and move-in, every year that I was back for that, I mean, so it would have been, 3 years as an undergrad,
Yep.
2 years as a GA, and 3 years as a professional. Having the involvement with RA training and being around the RA staff and getting to know them
Yes.
and making those memories, I mean,
I would agree. Those are some of my favorite memories too, especially, just the whole move-in process. There's such, this hopefulness, there's this energy as students are kind of coming on campus.
right.
And, the old friends that are kind of getting reacquainted and new friends are getting made. It is a lot of fun.
Right. And shout out to the RAs, past, present, and current. Like, those are all the best of the best. In my eyes, the things that they're, forced to deal with and, to balance academics, athletics, working,
Yep.
being an RA, being a tutor, just all the one beauty of our campus, everyone is involved with so many different things, and that's a blessing and a curse sometimes because all the RAs are also involved with service leaders and McMaster, so they're in demand.
Yes, there's a lot going on with them.
So, and those, I would say that's probably my most fond memory, and then other than like meeting like my wife and meeting my best friends. So
Okay, yeah, you better throw that in as
yeah,
as a
I have
memory.
to cover myself there, but yeah, so like those memories and being back on campus, I hope to be facilitating some of the trainings for RAs.
That'd be great.
And we're gonna cross train campus safety officers and also the RA staff just so they know like what they can rely on each other for and some previous security officers never had an opportunity to go to the res halls other than for like a fire alarm call. So,
Right.
Our hopes are to be like if there's a situation where the RAs may not feel comfortable or they might need some professional assistance to come in and provide that to them.
Gotcha.
Especially like critical incidents,
Yeah.
they do happen. So, how can we respond to those accordingly with a plan, follow policy, make sure things are done, people are notified. So, but yeah, so I kind of digress there, but yeah, the whole RA training, that's, but they're long hours and that's like, they move in early August and it's all day, like
Oh,
all day.
very well acquainted.
You eat, yeah, you eat together, you work together, you do trainings, you make your door decorations, your
Yep.
bulletin boards, you're going through all this training. Some of it is heavy training, suicide prevention, safe zone training, all those, like, they're topics that might be trigger warning, triggering to some. So it's just a lot of information, but they're all stars, so I
By
always
the
have
end of that 2 or 3 day training, it's just longer than 2. I think my part's about 2 days, but the
Yeah.
whole training process, it's probably more like 4 or 5.
and then also navigating those move-ins. Football move-in is a huge
Yes.
day just because of the numbers.
Yep.
But making sure that everyone has their room and their rooms are, in a, they can check in and move in and parents can feel comfortable and, so
It's that weird time of year, like we're planning for the end of this semester, but yet we're already like having those conversations about what August is going to look like.
Yep, exactly. So, but yeah, like that's, everything in my life I have currently I can attribute to becoming an RA because the connections I made, the skills I learned, how to handle incidents, how to work with people who are different than you, like those are all things that when you leave Defiance College and you start, enter the workforce, you're going to have to deal with people that you may not necessarily enjoy working with every day, but you have to remain professional. So
Transferable skills. How many
Exactly.
times have we said that?
Exactly. So that's something that's very important. And I try to tell, I laugh and say I'm a kind of a career development nightmare just because I have 2 degrees in business and I worked out of college and then I had worked in law enforcement and now I'm back in higher ed, not utilizing my business degrees. Some people have aspirations to like, get into sales or get into insurance or, work in a cubicle at a big city. That was not my interest. I mean, I have some entrepreneurial quests that I would like to pursue eventually, but those are things that, in due time, it's all part of the process and the plan. So yeah.
I'm glad the plan has kind of drawn you back to Defiance College. It is wonderful to have you back on campus again. Blast us out all over the place because we need more listeners. As we come back, we're just about ready to wrap up this year, but we will be back next year with more episodes. See you later, guys.